the Sanctuary of Light and the Light Institute welcome each and all of you to this time of knowings and invite you to bring forward the questions and the conversations that are important to your hearts so that we can, in our exploration here, include thousands of people who are thinking and feeling the same conversations. So let us be informal, and I invite you to simply bring forward questions that you have.
Over the past, I guess about the last week or so, you've mentioned a term twice, and I would really love to hear you talk about that more. Petty tyrant.
The petty tyrants. Well, I got the term from Carlos Castaneda, who was an anthropologist that wrote about a shaman who talked about petty tyrants. But it's an expression, I think, that carries over into all cultures. And what it means is that there are people in our lives that seem to outwit us, that seem to control us in the most petty ways. They don't seem to be powerful people. They may not be your boss. They may be your dog. They might be your child. They might be the person next door. But the petty tyrant means that they have a way of eliciting reactions from you, emotional reactions which are out of balance, that take you out of your center. And typically, the theme of whatever it is they're poking doesn't seem to be very important, but there's just something about them that grabs you. The Chinese would say honorable opponent, meaning that they can come in and equal you, they can trigger you. And so the petty tyrant is someone who annoys you. Another way of talking about it is someone that sort of nips at your heels, you know, who causes you frustration or discomfort. Not in huge ways, but just little ways, but ways that throw you out of your center. So when we have petty tyrants in our lives, it's very important to not try to just dismiss them or run away or overpower them, but to really turn and look, what are they representing to us? How is it that they trigger us out of our centers? What are the themes that they bring up for us? And in that way we can harvest them. And typically when you explore the channel of relation that you've placed on a petty tyrant, and you work on that from inside you, they will go away or they will change their behavior because they are truly soul friends that are saying, you're not looking at this conversation and it needs to be addressed. And so we seem to fill up our lives with such petty conversations. You did that to me, you did the other thing, without expanding into a place of peace, a place that sees the hologram, sees the purpose in all frustration, in all challenges. And so the petty tyrant allows us that opportunity to explore and therefore shift our emotional body in a way that brings us back into our center. It's really time on this planet to get rid of, quote, the petty tyrants. It's time to get rid of the things that bug you so that you can be as magnificent as you are, so that you can realize that what happens to you happens to everyone else. And I gave a talk one time about transcending adversity. And in that I explored the potential of simply moving up above and looking down at a difficult situation so that you can see the hologram, you can see your part in it without having to defend yourself or pretend it's not you, it's always them, but to see what is the truth. And when we allow that, it sets us free. So we want to release the petty tyrants, but not by ignoring them, not by running from them, not by trying to beat them up, but simply by becoming conscious of the dance that's going on there. So that our life is not filled with pettiness, but it's filled with conversations, experiences, emotions, opportunities that inspire us. We can do a little exercise about that, because in actuality everyone has petty tyrants in their lives. And I think that one of the ways that we equal that, or we release them, is to turn around, as I said, to turn around and face them and to extend energy to them, rather than trying to defend yourself, but to extend energy that says, whatever I've done, here is my gift of light to you, and that frees me, and you can do with it as you choose. And so the way we'll do this is to simply close our eyes for a moment and ask your own inner voice, your higher self, to show you someone in your life who is, in fact, a petty tyrant, nipping at your heels, as it were, keeping you small. And then we'll simply send a light to them so that we can go on and get about what is real and important to us. The emotional body loves to engage in those kinds of conflicts, to repeat them and repeat them and repeat them, because it feeds on them. We must teach our emotional bodies to feed on light, to become part of cosmic energy. So if you'll all close your eyes for a moment, take a deep breath into your body, and simply ask your higher self, which is the intuitive essence of your soul, to show you someone in your life who is playing that role for you of being a petty tyrant, being tyrannical with you. Just take the first person. It might be someone you never even think of, or someone that you're dealing with all the time. See who comes into your life. And whenever you get that awareness of that person, bring them into your mind's eye and ask them what frequency of light, what color they need from you to be released from this duel, from this pettiness. Just take the first color that comes into your consciousness and imagine that you're drawing it in from the cosmos, down through the top of your head, down through your heart and into your stomach, your solar plexus, which is the seat of the emotional body, and laser that color to them until they are filled with that light and disappear. So just breathe in, draw it down, and extend it to them. It's so easy to do it. Extend it out from you to them. Take a deep breath and open your eyes. While we were doing that exercise, my higher self reminded me of an example of one. And that is that sometimes a victim is the tyrant. For example, it might be someone who needs attention, or who is sick, or who needs you or asks you to continually give to them. So often when people feel themselves to be victims, they become petty tyrants to everybody around them, because they're actually controlling the entire family, or the entire office staff, or whatever. So that it's all about them. And they, pretty soon, everyone is having to sort of pay dues or focus on them. So that's a good example of a petty tyrant.
I got someone that was so interesting, because I got someone that I never think about, I never see, and I never talk to. And it was so powerful to see that this was someone that actually had that kind of grip in my life that is not even existent in my life. Really.
Sometimes we never see them or think of them because we simply have the power in our emotional body to shut them out.